So coming up on Monday night, we have a Packers versus Giants matchup. The Packers have been on a hot streak as of late, having their biggest win of the season, beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Jordan Love, this young offense, things are starting to turn around. They've started to turn around weeks ago, and we've seen the consistent improvement, success that this offense has found with Jordan Love playing as one of the better QBs in the NFL. And I'm excited for this Monday night matchup. This is a very bad Giants defense. The fact that the Packers last week put on a clinic on offense against one of the best defenses in the NFL gives me the belief that Monday night the Packers are going to put up a lot of points. The Giants currently rank as the 26th ranked scoring defense in the NFL. And I was watching a Matt LaFleur press conference earlier this morning. I think it was from yesterday. And he was talking about Wink Martindale, the Giants defensive coordinator, and how he's very good at what he does. And that may be the case, but his past two seasons in New York, they have never really had a great defense. Last year, they were 17th in scoring defense. This year, they're 26th. So this defense has been one of the worst in the NFL. And considering right now the Packers have been firing on all cylinders, Jordan Love has been incredible. Incredible versus the blitz, which is one thing to note because the Giants are a very blitz-heavy team. One of the heaviest blitzing teams in the NFL. But I think the Giants may be slightly hesitant in deploying that strategy, considering so far this season, Jordan Love has picked apart defenses when teams have blitzed him. If we look at the entire season, Love has been blitzed about 35% of the time, and he has 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. So when defenses are bringing the blitz, bringing the pressure, Love has thrown no interceptions. He's pretty good at sitting back there in the pocket, staying calm, going through his reads and hitting the open guy even when they bring additional guys trying to throw him off. You just can't throw off Jordan Love. What can we say? If we look at last week versus the Chiefs, he went 12 of 16 versus the blitz, 97 yards and a touchdown. And I was reading a New York Giants blog, and they were sort of writing about things that the Giants should do to try to beat the Packers. And one of them was blitz less often. Just sort of sit back, and because, as I noted, they recognized how Jordan Love has been very good against the blitz. So I'm curious to see if the Giants decide to blitz a lot. Will they follow their typical strategy, or will they sit back because they recognize that you don't want to blitz Jordan Love? It's starting to get around the league, as you can see, with just the way that Jordan Love has played so far. If we look at the Packers, one of the things that I think has really benefited the Packers this season, and one area where they've just really gotten better, is this receiver core has so many different threats that can beat you. If you look at the Packers' stats right now, receivers, Jaden Reed, 40 receptions, 513 yards. Romeo Doubs, 45 receptions, 505 yards. Christian Watson, 28 receptions, 422 yards, and he has missed a lot of games with injuries. Then Dontavian Wicks, 23 receptions, 374 yards, and he started getting a lot more snaps recently. When you look at those stats, you can see the fact that Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, both there around 500 yards. The Packers have so many guys who can beat you, and they all feel like they're playing at the top of their game right now. And so, in the past with Aaron Rodgers, the Packers were pretty heavy with, Devontae Adams being one of the best receivers in the NFL. Rodgers was very reliant on Devontae, and while I think we did have some talent outside of Devontae, it felt like there was such a big drop-off in talent from, let's say, Devontae to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And now it really feels like Jaden Reed is playing great. Romeo Doubs playing great. When Watson is healthy the past few weeks, playing great. Dontavian Wicks playing great. It doesn't feel like there's a drop-off from any of those guys. They all do different things that allow Jordan Love to just go through his reads when a guy's open on a play. He finds him. And there was some reporters asking questions in an interview from Jordan Love yesterday, and they were saying, are you trying to, make sure you hit lots of different guys and sort of spread the ball around? Or is it just based off your reads and who's open? And he was saying he's not trying to spread it around per se. It just happens that on certain plays, certain guys are open. So the fact that all these guys can get open, find the spots in the zone, I think that's really led to this Packers offense really taking huge steps forward. And considering they're so young, we're seeing all that starting to click. And so as I said, because this is a Giants defense has not really found a lot of success this season, and the Packers are very confident right now, playing very well, I do think this is going to be a very good game for this Packers offense. And if we look at the Giants rushing defense, they're 28th in the NFL, slightly higher than the Packers rushing defense, which has not been good. As of late, Aaron Jones has missed games because of the MCL sprain. He was practicing for the first time yesterday in the past 2 weeks. So maybe Aaron Jones plays on Sunday. The Packers are pretty hesitant with these injuries, and I would think that the fact that without Aaron Jones the past couple weeks, the Packers have still found a lot of success. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold him out another week. A.J. Dillon had 18 carries, 73 yards last week, 4.1 yards per carry, and at least against Kansas City, it did feel like there was some more clean running lanes when it came to run blocking. A.J. Dillon looks like he has a little bit more juice than he did earlier in the season. And so this is an opportunity for the Packers to really get the running game going, and clearly the Packers love to run the play action pass off of the running game. And so I think that if it is solely A.J. Dillon on Monday night, it could be a big A.J. Dillon game. And while he may not really load the stat sheet, he's been getting some tough yards when they stack the box, and he's played pretty well. And so that's honestly promising to see, considering earlier in the season, A.J. Dillon was not looking great. At least at that time, I was just really not thinking he would come back next season because it is the final year of his contract. But now the way A.J. Dillon is playing, I'm more open to the Packers potentially bringing him back next season. We'll discuss that at a later time, but I like what we've seen from A.J. Dillon. So it's going to be another fun matchup. It's getting more and more fun to watch Jordan Love just because of how good he's been playing. If you look at since week 11 with QBs with 50 pass attempts, Jordan Love is third in passer rating at 116.9, eighth in completion percentage at 68.5%, eighth in yards per attempt at 7 yards, and then second in touchdowns. So he has been playing as I'd say, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And if Jordan Love keeps doing this next season, the season after that, he's going to be one of those elite quarterbacks. Where we talk about Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. If Love plays like he has the past few weeks, he is going to be in that caliber of quarterbacks. And so I want to see it even more consistently. We've seen it the past few weeks. I see no reason why it can't happen, and why even next year the Packers can't get better on offense with the entire offseason to prepare and grow with all these young players getting more experience, getting more locked in with the playbook. So things are very much looking up for this Packers offense. Now if we go to the other side of the ball, the Packers will be facing off against Tommy DeVito. With the Giants and Daniel Jones going down with an injury a few weeks back, maybe a month or so ago, they had to move to DeVito. Tyrod Taylor was another quarterback here, but he has been on the IR. And DeVito, especially the past couple weeks, has played pretty good. If you look here at the past 2 games for the Giants, they've won their past 2 games after starting off 2-8. In the past 2 games, DeVito had 246 yards against the Commanders, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 137.7 rating. Versus the Patriots, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, a 103.9 rating. And so when he has time in the pocket, he plays well. He has a nice deep ball. He is pretty mobile. I was watching some of his highlights versus the Commanders game. He can escape a little bit. Here's the thing with the Giants offense. Their offensive line is so bad. Just so bad. It's hard to even explain how bad this offensive line is. They are one of the worst they actually are the worst when it comes to pressure allowed in the NFL. And I think that's one reason early in the season Daniel Jones was playing so badly is because his offensive line couldn't stop anyone. No one was getting blocked. Every single play, it felt like Daniel Jones was getting clobbered back there. And that has continued with Tommy DeVito. He is a little more shifty, I would say. Maybe more shifty than Daniel Jones. Jones can maneuver a little bit. But I think considering how well this Packers pass rush has played the past few weeks, last week, lots of guys played really well. Rashawn Gary right now is the 9th highest pass rush win percentage in the NFL per PFF. Kenny Clark the last few weeks, 6 pressures 3 weeks ago, 8 the week before that, 6 last week. He's been dominating. You throw in Preston Smith still playing pretty well. Carl Brooks, rookie, playing well. Get ready for the Packers pass rush to dominate on Monday night. I wouldn't be surprised to see 5, 6, 7 sacks considering just how bad this Giants O-line is. And so I just don't think this is going to be a close game. I just don't see it happening. I know that NFL games, even if teams have been bad most of the season, I just don't see this being a close game. The Packers defense has played much better than in years past. 9th best scoring defense in the NFL right now. I think we are around 18th in yards allowed. The reason the Packers have allowed less points is because they're one of the best red zone defenses. I think we're the 8th best red zone defense in the NFL, and so that clearly helps. But I think the Packers, their ability to rush the passer and the fact that this is the worst offensive line in the NFL should lead to lots of sacks, lots of 2nd and long, 3rd and long. The Packers will be able to sit back there, probably get a couple interceptions. Even though DeVito hasn't thrown in the past couple weeks, I expect at least one this week. Packers could get Jair back this week, which clearly will help. And it's just crazy to see that the Packers defense has played so well without Jair, with Rasul Douglas traded away. It's been a better year than I expected from this defense, to be completely honest, based off of last year's performance. And we got to give some props to Joe Barry. The one area where the Packers defense has struggled is against the run. And the Giants, I'd say their biggest weapon is Saquon Barkley. If we, though, look at his past few games, he's very talented, but he hasn't really taken over games the past few weeks. If you look at New England, this is from PFF, 12 attempts, 46 yards, 3.8 yards a carry. Not incredible, fine. Versus Washington a week before, 14 attempts, 83 yards, 5.9 yards a carry, solid game. Versus Dallas, 13 attempts, 66 yards. If you look early in the season, 24 carries, 21, 36. The past 4 games hasn't had over 16 attempts. I would assume they try to get Saquon Barkley going because that is probably their strength. It's the Packers' weakness. We'll see if the Packers can improve against the run. And it's crazy to see that you can have the 30th ranked rushing defense in the NFL, but still be the 9th best scoring defense. And so the Packers have played really well against the pass. I think we're 10th versus the pass. We rush the passer pretty well. The one weakness is the rushing defense. And I would assume Saquon Barkley has some nice runs. But if the Packers keep playing well in the red zone, allow field goals, sack DeVito, which I expect to happen a lot, then the Packers, I think, should be able to handle this game pretty easily, in my opinion. And so let's get my score prediction. I'm going to go Packers 31. I'm going to say we break 30. And let's go Giants 17. I think this Packers offense has been playing as one of the best. The Giants offense has been pretty bad. They've been okay the past couple weeks, but I just think this is a game where the Packers are going to come in ready. They are playing really well. I don't think they're going to be too overconfident. I think they believe in themselves as they should, but I don't think they're going to take any team lightly the way that Jordan Love was talking. I think these guys are really starting to play better than we've seen all season long, and I expect it to continue on Monday night. And I will be out with a video after the game. We'll see if I was right about some of these predictions, some of these thoughts, or not. I post reaction videos after every single game, so stay tuned for that. Right after the game, I film it, and we'll see. We'll see if the Packers keep their hot streak alive, which I would expect to happen. But feel free to comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you want to see more Packers content like this, I post usually 2 or so videos a day. I break down news, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get the news right away, you can turn on my post notifications. So that way, every time I make a video, you get notified right on your phone. And so when I make news videos, it'll pop up on your phone so you'll know exactly what's happening when it does happen. But that is all I have for this video. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.